What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? This is your girl Bernicia. If you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button real quick. So today we're going to talk about what went down this past Sunday on the latest episode of Baddies East. All right. So I missed the last two episodes. And I just finished watching this one, and I'm gonna tell you, right at this point, I'm fucking over it. Okay, these girls need to come up with something. They need to start coming up with something else, because this whole ganging up on people thing is becoming repetitive this season. Okay, I feel like after the Krishan situation with her sister and all of that went down, everything kind of went downhill from there. Like, we still have Anna Mac and Scotty, they still beefing for what? I don't fucking know. You have Rolly and Biggie still going at it. And now E.T. has involved herself. So let me go ahead and just run it down real quick. Basically, at this point in the show, E.T. has a problem with Biggie because when they went out to the club, some guy attacked E.T. and allegedly called out Biggie's name. So E.T. feels like this guy was a friend of Biggie, and Biggie called him up there to attack her, you know? So she feels some kind of way about that, and she wants to handle her business. She wants to handle things with Biggie. Then you got Mariah and Smiley. Okay, so Mariah and Smiley, Mariah's sister fought Smiley at the club. Apparently, Smiley told Rolly after the fight that she was going to have Mariah's family follow. So this reignited whatever drama and beef that Mariah and Smiley had. So now Mariah has a new issue with Smiley because Smiley is threatening her family. All right. So basically, the girls, they went over to House B. Natalie's group went over to House B, and they confronted these girls about this whole situation where Smiley, supposed to have Mariah's family follow. Mariah and Smiley got into a fight, and then it turned into a problem between Biggie and E.T. E.T. tried to fight Biggie. Biggie kept trying to explain herself, saying that she didn't send this guy. She don't know who they're talking about. She feels that Rolly and E.T. is trying to set her up, etc., etc. So then E.T. proceeds to go upstairs and pack Biggie's shit to put Biggie out the house, okay? So apparently Rolly wrote these little eviction notices for Smiley and Biggie because the girls are tired of them being there. And she gave both of them a notice. But the girls, obviously, Biggie and Smiley ain't going nowhere, okay? So now we roll into this episode where it starts off with E.T. and Biggie. They are getting into it because E.T. grabbed Biggie's shit. Now, the whole time, the thing that gets me, Biggie kept talking about contracts. I mean, when it comes to a person who don't even live in a house, you coming from a whole nother house trying to take my shit and move my shit, touching my shit, period, fuck a contract. Because at that point, I would have lost my shit. I feel like Biggie is being more defensive of herself than she was in the previous season, but at the same time, it's like, girl, I would have threw E.T. ass across the motherfucking stairs. And I love to say I don't advocate for violence, but bitch, when you touching my personal belongings, when you come from the other house, you don't even have to sleep over here with me. You don't have to see me, but if you come from the other house and you grabbing my shit, now we have a whole issue. You know what I'm saying? So I would have lost my shit. But, security didn't allow Biggie to get her one. And I feel like that's fucked up. Because at this point, I feel like Biggie's being totally ambushed, okay? So, anywho, after all of that went down, only person who seemed to give a fuck about the whole situation was Suki. Suki took it upon herself to go upstairs and talk to Smiley and Biggie. And she was basically telling them that they needed to defend themselves and they shouldn't allow the other girls to evict them out the house. And I appreciate her for coming up there trying to give them words of encouragement. But as far as Smiley is concerned, listen, Smiley is, that shit was going in one ear and out the other. Smiley don't give a fuck about nothing, and I guarantee you all her social media antics will continue. She don't care. She always stirring the pot and then want to sit there and play victim when she's being confronted with something. I don't feel bad for Smiley, but Biggie, on the other hand, I feel like Biggie have earned her stripes. I don't feel like she should be getting hazed the way she is, and I feel like Rolly is overstepping it this season. I'm so sick and tired of Rolly, her and them stank funky ass shorts with that botched ass BBL. She is pissing me off this season, and then E.T. is making me mad as well. Like, she's trying to get her spotlight moments, and she's just fighting any and everybody. First she started with T, and now she's like on Biggie shit. She have no reason to have a problem with Biggie. She started the whole situation with Biggie. So even if Biggie did invite that guy, and that guy decided to top E.T. cross her head, then fucking what? If she was so tough, she would have handled the dude who hit her. But no, I just feel like she's on the whole bandwagon thing, and because Rolly don't like Biggie, she's going to continue to jug at Biggie because Rolly don't like Biggie. Her issue, I feel like she really don't have a personal issue with Biggie like that. She's just putting on. So with that being said, I don't fucking like E.T. Okay? So, but yeah, child. With that being said, the girls get ready, they go out to the club. And while they're in the Sprinter van, there's a particular interesting conversation that I found interesting, okay? So House B is in the van. They're on their way to the club. Now, first thing I noticed is that everybody's dressed up for the club except for Biggie. Biggie has on a white shirt. She has some jeans on. She has her hair up in the bonnet, no makeup on. Okay, so like, while nobody on the bus is acknowledging the fact that Biggie's not dressed, I'm thinking to myself like, okay, but when Smiley went to the club and she wasn't dressed up, everybody had something to say. But okay, I see Biggie's not dressed up. Whoop de whoop, we know something's finna go down. But anyway, they go to talking about the whole E.T. situation, and Biggie admits that her brother was at the club that night, but she said that her brother didn't put hands on E.T. Now that makes me question things a little bit more because, I don't even know what question, because E.T. them didn't even know who the fuck. They gave different descriptions for this alleged dude. They didn't know this dude was short, light skin, dark skin. They didn't know if it was Biggie's cousin, uncle, brother, sister. So I don't really know, and I really don't I don't believe that it was something that Biggie orchestrated. I believe that it was, maybe a fan perhaps that attacked E.T. Who knows? But either way, I see Biggie standing on business, okay? So at this point, I was thinking like, what's going to go down? Well, in the next scene, something does go down. So the girls from House A, Natalie's clique, they're lined up at the club. And so Biggie runs up on E.T. and just takes off on E.T. Now, it happened so quickly that it took the girls like a couple of minutes to figure out who it was who attacked E.T. Because initially when Biggie ran up, everybody got into defense mode. All the girls were ready to fight. But once they realized it was Biggie who ran up, everybody was just like, wow, like they were surprised, okay? As a result of the altercation outside the club owner came out and was like, basically, listen, y'all hood rats cannot enter the building. Case closed, okay? So they were not allowed to make an appearance at the club. So this pissed Natalie off. So now at this point, Natalie got smoked for Biggie. She was upset. She said like, she feels like Biggie cost them the bag. Okay. And so Natalie says, well, with everything that's been going on, I want to do something fun. So she decides to throw a pool party at her house, right? So the next day, before heading over to Natalie's house to the pool party, Biggie and Smiley are outside having a conversation. So basically, Biggie is talking about everything that happened with E.T. and she's basically like, she still has She still has smoke for E.T. because she feels like E.T. disrespected her by touching her shit. She shouldn't have put her hands on her shit. So she's going to stand up for herself, and she says she's not going to allow these girls to evict her. And while she's saying that, Smiley's like, oh, well, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to tell them that they're not going to evict me, et cetera, et cetera. At this point, I'm just like, Smiley's so desperate to be accepted. She going to let them motherfuckers treat her any way they want to. Like, with that being said, Smiley did a lot of shit to cause the girls not to like her. But ultimately, if I'm a grown-ass woman, I'm not going to let a bunch of other grown women tell me what I can and cannot fucking do. And fuck up a whole experience. What would be a different experience, make it horrible for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Smiley did put herself in a lot of bullshit, but ultimately, it's like at this point, they just need somebody to gang up on. So now, everybody from House A got a problem with both Biggie and Smiley. So, anywho, the girls, they're headed over they finally get to Natalie's house. Everybody's having fun. It looks like a vibe. Everybody's throwing water balloons, get wet, enjoying themselves. Meanwhile, E.T., she's hiding behind the bushes waiting for Biggie to come. So the girls from the other house finally make it there. As soon as Biggie walked past, E.T. throws a water bottle at her, and then they start fighting. Okay, so that's pretty much where the episode ends, with the fight between E.T. and Biggie. Now, judging from the little clip, there's no telling who really won. I've just seen where both of them kind of tumbled over or whatever. I just gotta say, it seems like next episode is gonna be good. Okay, because then you have it looks like Mariah Lynn and Suki and Sapphire is going to have like some type of disagreement with each other. I don't know. It looks like things are going to be interesting next episode. All I can say is, from this whole situation, I just feel like Biggie is doing a much better job at standing up for herself than she did the previous seasons. The previous season, she basically let herself look stupid. But with that being said, like, I feel like Biggie do have shit going on for her outside of the show. She don't need to sit there and accept the bullshit that these girls are putting her through. I mean, after all, why would Natalie invite her back on the show just for them to treat her like an outcast? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was Biggie, I would feel some type of way towards Natalie too, because like, you the executive producer. I'm technically an OG baddie because I've been here, done that before, and then it's bad enough you bring me back as a replacement, but now you letting people play with me. People as in Scarface, who is also a replacement, okay? Because she wasn't originally picked to be on the crew. on the Baddies for Baddies East. So you letting all these motherfuckers try me, play me, touch my shit. Like, I would be so fucking mad with Natalie at this point, But it just is what it is. Somehow Natalie is always able to, kind of throw rocks and hide her hands. Like how she was saying that, she's upset with Biggie because Biggie don't fucked up her bag. No, I just feel like Natalie pretty much is siding with Rolly and E.T. with the whole Biggie situation, that she really just don't give a fuck about what's going on with Biggie. And ultimately, if the girls that she's cool with don't want Biggie there, then she, you know what I'm saying? Then she don't give a fuck whether or not Biggie's there. So that's that. But so, like, I understand what Biggie trying to stand up for herself, because bitch, if you ain't gonna do it, nobody else gonna do it for you. Obviously, like Suki said, nobody stood up for you. Nobody defended you when E.T. was throwing out your shit. Okay. So that's that. So guys, let me know, what do you all think about this whole situation with Biggie? Do you guys agree with how the girls are trying to evict Biggie, how they're attacking Biggie? I mean, although Biggie and Smiley are under fire, in my opinion, Smiley deserves it. But I mean, maybe some of you guys feel differently about that. Well, whatever the case, please feel free to get into the comment section and express your opinions and thoughts on the whole situation. With that being said, I'm out, folks. Deuces.